Good evening. We are back at the bar for the final podcast before the end of the year.
Yes.
Another
2025.
year.
Yes.
We are at the
How
end
did
of the
that
year.
happen?
How quickly?
Remarkable.
I don't
How
know.
quickly it goes.
I know.
Yes.
It was just yesterday we were doing
I feel like
last
I
year's.
feel like we're on Trump time. Everything is just moving at an accelerated pace.
Like it's never
That's
moved
funny,
before.
right?
Like it's never moved before.
No one's ever seen this before.
That is true. That is definitely a
I
true
didn't know
statement.
that was Trump time.
It's a true statement. Nobody's ever seen this before.
Well,
No one has ever seen this before.
Well, how have the holidays been?
Happy holidays, but it's been good.
Yeah.
Quiet though, very nice and quiet.
I would note that Rachel and I are clearly in the Christmas spirit, whereas Kevin is wearing
Yeah,
proletarian green.
But Christmas is red and green, right? So.
Well, that's not even Christmas green. That's like,
Well, that's
I don't know. I
This-
feel like that's like fatigue green.
combat.
a little humbug in there. You know, I've been soured by the holiday and all the
Yes,
corporate
you said you weren't going to
mess.
buy any
Yes.
gifts.
He
You were
thinks
going to
he's
do. You were going to
Vladimir
do experiences. How'd
Well,
that go?
we're
It's a
working on.
Zelensky green.
We're working
It's a
on-
It is a Zelensky green.
Ukraine green. And I'm all in favor of supporting Ukraine. So
Me as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
There you
Fair
go.
enough.
There you go.
Well, we didn't buy a lot of gifts,
Just
but
don't wear it to the White House.
no.
Oh yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
We quiet. I didn't buy a lot of gifts. My grandchildren were very understanding about not buying a lot of, toys and crap that they
Just
don't
like
need.
Trump said, I
but,
only need $2.
we
they
didn't
donate
get-
$32.
We didn't get one doll. So there we go. But we did outfit their bedrooms.
Oh,
That
that's
they
nice.
wanted to do that, and I extended the offer of experiences. So we'll see what they come back with. So hopefully somebody does some piano.
This is a great gift.
Piano lessons or dance. Well, my granddaughter's dance already, but if they want to do some karate, I thought my older granddaughter might take up a little boxing, something like that. So we'll see. We'll
I
see what
started
happens.
both my girls. I started them in Taekwondo in first kindergarten, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody's got to go swimming at some point, so we got to do that. But yeah, all in all, great holiday.
I'm all about girls learning martial arts. I think that's a
Oh,
great.
I had both of my kids in karate for. I think
Yeah.
they got to advanced blue belts.
So
Okay.
my older
But-
daughter got her black belt.
That's
And-
great.
And my younger daughter went up to red belt, and then because my older daughter had now quit Taekwondo, she quit at that same time, so she didn't get the black belt. But red belt was good.
I mean, the problem is that as the kids get older and they're in karate, then they get involved in all these other sports, and then things start to compete against each other. And as a parent, there's only so many things you can schlep your kid to. You run out of time.
That's
That's
facts.
true.
That is true. That is
I
true.
thought it was great to give them that sense of like physical strength.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's also teaches. I mean, I love I love karate, taekwondo, martial arts because it really teaches the kids discipline
Discipline
and
But
balance
and confidence.
agility,
It gives them
and
confidence as
confidence.
well.
Yeah.
So it's
and,
all
yeah.
good things.
Yeah.
All good things for the young mind.
Well, now you
Yeah.
have something that you can give your grandchild once he gets out of the crib.
There you go.
I'm
Once
all
he gets
for
it moving.
I'm all for it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, who has their gripe?
Well, I'll do a gripe today,
Okay.
and
This is the end of the year gripe.
end of the year gripe, and I'm very disappointed that at a time when costs are up, people are out of jobs, people are struggling with income, that the Department of Education is now planning to garnish the wages of those who are having a troubled time paying their student loans back. This couldn't come at a worse time, but of course, we are in the Trump era, and the regular people don't really matter, even though he says they did, but they don't. So our young people will now be straddled with having to pony up for their loans, and they will be getting their wages garnished, which means there'll be more fallout in terms of them being unable to afford living expenses and taking care of themselves. So it's just a horrible time to do this.
Kevin, You ignorant slut. God forbid that the kids should have to pay back
their
the damn
loans.
loans.
Hey,
I
have to,
mean,
and I have
for
to-
4 years. I
Yeah.
mean, from the beginning of the pandemic, all the
Right.
loans were on hold.
That's
Nobody
right.
had to pay back
They
their
went
loans.
4 years
That's
without.
not
Despite the
true.
fact
Yes,
that
it
the
is.
Supreme Court
People-
told
Yes, it
Biden
is.
that he
No,
could not
during
release
COVID-
student loans,
during
Biden did
COVID,
it anyway.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They were
During
suspended during
we
COVID for legitimate
suspended-
reasons.
We suspended the payback of loans. but
People have been put back on payment, but to garnish people's wages is just
because
wrong.
they're not
they're
paying
not
their
paying
loans.
their loans. You have to pay your loans.
Well, if
Everybody else has
you
to pay
can't
their
afford to
loans.
pay your loan, what do you do?
The amount of
We were
money
giving
that-
opportunities to
No.
push our loan payments off until we were able to afford them, and I think these folks should have the same opportunity. You could do forbearance, you could do some things to stave this off until you got to a place.
If
where
the
you could
wages are
afford
being garnished,
If you're
what that-
paying-
what that means
As
is they're
far as
not
I know,
they're
we
not
have to
paying
pay
anything.
off-
They're
If
not
you're-
making they're not
if
making
you're
any
paying
effort. They're not
20
making any effort to pay the loan.
If you no, that doesn't mean to make an effort. It means that maybe you can't afford to pay your loan if you're paying $2,300 for a raggedy 1-bedroom apartment and $1,000 for a car. Maybe you don't.
You're paying
you don't have-
$1,000 a month for a car.
People pay $1,000 a month for a car. You've been
What,
paying
what,
attention.
what are they
They
renting?
bought the they
What
bought
are
the,
they leasing?
Are
they
you
bought
not-
the wrong car. My
The
car payments
the
have
average
never been
cost,
that high.
the
No.
average cost of a car today
No.
is $50,000.
That is not
If you
true.
buy
That
a
is
new
true.
car,
I
well,
have
if you
never-
buy
That's
a
not
new
true.
car,
Okay, you know what? I have
That's
bought a
not
new
true.
car.
I'm not going with that.
It's
That's-
up.
The
It's
part,
up.
I'm out.
No.
That's why I'm out.
I
It's
thought
up.
The
I
apartment
have
building.
never paid that much for a new car. But
That
when
doesn't
you
mean
get-
all cars are $50,000. I said the average cost of a
new car.
But
Of
that's-
a new car.
Of a new
But,
car.
New
okay,
car,
but
yes.
that's part that I don't pay that much for a car.
And
No,
do
I
you
have
know what the
never
interest rates are now?
High.
Come on, guys. This is killing the
I
young
have
people.
never had a
And they
car
can't
loan.
even buy a house in this country.
I have never
But
had
we're
a
going to
car
garnish
loan.
their wages.
I have
This
never
is
had
terrible.
a car loan that was
Well,
more
when
than
you take
$400
when
a
you
month
when you take out a loan, you have an obligation to
pay
repay it.
Yes, you do.
And you know,
And you know who that benefits? It benefits the wealthy kids. The student loan benefit is a higher income group than everybody else out there who's having their homes foreclosed on, that you can't afford your home. The student loan is generally for people that have a future of making higher incomes, and they ought to pay back their loan.
Well, they're telling you that they're coming out of school and they can't get jobs. They're
And by
telling
the
you that
way,
right
the-
now.
the-
And great
the-
schools, by the way.
by the way, the interest rate that the student has to repay, low, very low.
I'm talking about everything else.
You know,
I'm not talking about the
If there's
student
a
loan.
student out there that is paying $1,000 a month for their car, and they can't pay their student loan, they bought a car that was way above their means, and a car more expensive than I have ever bought,
I agree.
ever.
Well, welcome to the bar, young people. They don't care about you
You're not
either.
paying-
Hey, but you
If
get
you're paying $1,000
you
a
take
month
the
for your
loan out,
car,
you have to make payments
Yeah.
to
$1,000
repay the
for a car
loan.
is outrageous.
right?
$1,000 for a car is
That
outrageous.
is
That's-
crazy.
Car and insurance and maintenance, easy.
No.
No, no, no,
Well,
I-
now you're adding
No,
all
no, no.
these other things
No.
in there.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
The point is,
It's
it's
still
very
way above
expensive.
what I have ever paid for a car.
The point is,
way
it's very
above.
expensive to live right now for young people, and they don't make the money.
And they,
I agree with
well,
that.
they shouldn't
And
be.
It's
that is-
very
that-
expensive to
that-
live for
They
it's very-
obviously
for
bought a car
everybody.
that was way above their means.
So
All right.
there's
Okay.
my gripe.
Okay. Well, Kevin is clearly misguided on this, but at any rate, all right. So we're introducing a new segment because because the topic is just so all-encompassing. But we're going to call the segment Trump News because
There's plenty of it.
clearly there's a lot of it. I mean, when you talk about, I mean, and we're going to do this at the end where we kind of take a look back and a look forward, but just as a teaser for that, the man has made a lot of news.
Yes,
in
a lot of
the
different
11
areas.
months that he has been president. It's really quite remarkable.
Yeah.
But so I will start with an observation. So the president's poll numbers are now upside down
Right.
pretty significantly, and
Right.
they've declined rather significantly since January, even on two topics that he was really elected on, which were the economy and immigration. He's now underwater on both of those things. And I was watching this morning as I was channel surfing through the news shows, Rachel's favorite network, CNN. And there was
John's on CNN.
there's actually somebody on CNN that made what I thought was actually a valid point. Unusual, but nonetheless, a valid point.
Hey, your guy Scott Jennings is on CNN all the time.
He was on this morning too. He was one of the panelists. Now, of course, they had 4 liberals and Scott Jennings, but
Yeah, I used to like
it
him,
is
but
what it
now
is.
he's like,
He's horrible.
At any rate, so the comment was what working class people in America are seeing is that they voted for Trump because this billionaire from Queens had somehow connected with them
right.
and convinced them that he was for them, that he was looking out for them. And what these folks have seen, whether they're working class voters or whether they're independent voters, is the perception of what Trump has done in the first 11 months is it's been more about him than them. And I think it's a valid point because if you read and watch the news, you can't help but see all of these things that he's doing, where he's basically taking retribution on everybody that wronged him over the last 4 or 5 years. You can't turn on Fox News without seeing a Trump commercial for Trump watches, Trump sneakers. I mean, just hawking all these products.
The Trump Kennedy Center.
He's naming he wants his name on the Kennedy Center.
It's on there.
It's
He
on
wants
there.
to create. He wants to
And
create.
the U.S. Institute of Peace is now the
He wants to
Trump
create,
Institute.
as for those of you unfamiliar with Washington, D.C., there are bridges that lead you into the city. So the Memorial Bridge, which is right by Arlington Cemetery, which leads into the city, he wants to put an arc there, and he wants to call it the Arc de Trump.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he talks endlessly about the wall of presidential plaques in the White House, and says proudly that he did the inscriptions himself. The family's making a lot of money off crypto. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
they're making Hunter Biden look like a piker.
Well,
So, yes, absolutely, that is all true.
So I think. So anyway, so just to close the loop on this,
Okay.
this is why I think that he's underwater because he's now created this perception that he's really not doing this for all of those people. He's doing it for himself.
Well, I agree with that, but also there's something else. He's also overplayed his hand. So he won on immigration issue that was
And the economy.
And so the immigration issue was the big, one thing that people identified with. They agreed with him on. He has overplayed his hand by not having ICE agents come out there and grabbing your nanny out of your house that are off the playground or out from the schools. So he's way overplayed his hand on the immigration issue to the point that people no longer support him on how he's implementing his policy. And the other thing that the Democrats did really bad on in the last election is sort of the overplayed political correctness, and so Trump has now gone overboard in that direction. And he was critical of the Kennedy Center, perhaps featuring too much.
Well, I mean, he wasn't wrong about
much
that,
woke-
but
Okay,
but-
that's what I'm saying.
but then
He
he just-
wasn't wrong about
Right.
immigration either. I mean,
Right.
we can't have
but then
an
he's
open border.
overreached.
So that's what I'm saying. He's overplaying on the issues that he won on,
Yeah.
which is one of them immigration, another of them sort of like wokeness. He's overplaying his hand. He's now took over the board of the Kennedy Center, put his name on the Kennedy Center because he didn't.
Which
like
requires an act of Congress, by the way.
right. So
apparently not.
so it's
Apparently
illegal.
not.
So it's illegal, but so on all
Apparently,
these- on all these
Mo's
things
handyman put the sign up
on-
already.
On all these things that helped him win the election, he's overplaying his hand to the extent that he's now losing support. He's losing on immigration and on wokeness. No one wanted him to actually. He's president of the United States. What does he need to run the Kennedy Center for? That is crazy.
Well,
Well-
Even if they were sort of overly woke and that,
Well,
That- that's not-
and his answer when, Republicans have gotten creamed in basically every election in 2025, on this theme of affordability, right?
mhm.
to go out there and say that it's a myth, it's a hoax.
Right, he's
and
doing exactly what
none of
Biden
this is saying
did.
he's doing exactly what Biden
Biden
did.
did. So,
Right?
right.
And that worked so well for Biden.
Exactly. Exactly. So, right, the
Well-
things that won him the election,
Yeah.
he is now overplaying his hand and now losing on all those fronts that won him the election.
So Kevin,
Well,
I feel
threading-
like I feel like we've just teed up this massive softball.
Oh man.
Well,
And you've got the 52-inch aluminum bat.
well, you did describe a con man, which he is. I mean, what do we expect, ladies and gentlemen? We told you in 2024 that he was going to do this. No surprises here.
No.
Yeah,
He's
but-
always been this man, and all of a sudden we're surprised.
Well-
He's never, ever, ever done anything that didn't benefit him. Every single thing he's done has benefited him. When he came back into office for the second time, it's like when you go somewhere, you learn all the secrets, they put you out, and you say, "Man, if I ever get back over there,
I know
I know exactly what I'm going to do."
Well,
I
believe he said
I'm gonna
that.
steal all the cars. I'm gonna steal all the checks, and I'm gonna get all the people that's gonna help me do it in place. And that's what he's doing. And unfortunately for the American people, the aftermath of this is gonna last long beyond him, and it's unfortunate.
But-
And it is not. And you can say what you want to say about immigration. People didn't vote for this kind of immigration. People didn't vote for this wokeness that people want to run and talk about. It is.
That's why I
he
say
he jumped up and down.
He's
But
overplaying
he
his
jumped
hand.
up and down, and he used racism and all kinds of things to get people to say, "Yes, I want to get rid of all these illegal people." And he said, "Well, we just gonna do the bad ones, and even the ones who were illegal voted for this guy.
Well,
They voted for him, and they
well,
said, yeah,
according-
he's just gonna get rid of
well,
my Uncle Tommy who
according
keeps
to
stealing."
the,
Yeah,
well,
but-
according to the
but not
Democrats,
me.
according to the Democrats, illegal aliens cannot vote.
They don't vote. And we know
Well.
that. We know that. We know that to be true. And there's no proof
Okay.
that people here illegal
Yeah.
vote.
Well,
But he convinced you that they not only do they vote, they get food stamps, they get $2,000 a month for rent,
well, Kevin,
they
the re-
get
the-
all
the-
this stuff, and everybody said, "Let's get rid of them."
the reason,
Except
the,
rational
the,
people.
The,
So
re- the
it's no
reason,
surprise-
hold on, the reason that there are allegations that illegal aliens vote is because of the rather lax way that votes are tallied in certain segments of the country. Now, I'm not suggesting that that they are voting or that they're not voting. What I'm saying is that you have a lot of urban areas of the country where there isn't a lot of election security around ballots.
Well,
That is a fact.
Well,
They're not always
let's be
factors,
honest. Well,
very,
let's
very
be
important.
honest.
Including something called ballot
No.
harvesting.
Well,
where you
let's-
have people
we-
to go
we-
pick up a
we-
whole thing of ballots.
do a whole lot of
and they
things.
drop them off.
There
We
is
do a
very
whole
little-
lot of things.
Secure about that.
Wait a minute.
No,
We do a
there's
whole
very
lot of
little
things in this
evidence
country.
of actual voter
Fraud,
fraud.
right.
on
Very,
any
very,
kind of
very little.
significant level.
And we
Very
do a
little.
lot of things to create the environment that we want to put people in office. And we can say it on both sides.
But-
We do a lot of
Well,
uh,
the surprise to
moving
me-
lines, changing communities, making adjustments. We do that all the time so certain people can stay in office. We do it all. We don't want, the Republicans don't want everybody to actually be able to vote. And that's the fact.
Well, we
Because
just
they
want-
know their policies are not popular. They're not popular.
We just
Well,
want
Trump's
citizens
cut-
to vote, and
Trump-
we want you to be able to produce an identification in order to vote,
Trump-
like you do with anything else that you have to do.
I don't have a problem with people having an ID to vote. That's fine.
Okay,
the,
so, yeah, I mean,
the
but-
problem
but-
is
and
when
then-
you create, you don't want, now they don't want mail-in ballots. They don't want people to be able to vote. I can't even think of the other way that they want to eliminate. They want everybody to show up in line on that
And-
day with an ID.
I mean,
Period. And that is eliminate. We already don't have.
Well, Trump actually.
We
wants-
already
he
don't
wants
get
us to
more
go-
than-
He wants to go back to paper ballots.
Well,
but
we already don't have more than I don't know,
I
30, 40% of America who vote anyway.
Well,
I don't know what the
higher.
actual number is, but it's a
It's
small
actually-
portion of
it's
America
actually-
that
I mean,
votes in people, and
well,
it's a
thank-
much smaller in local elections.
You
Go
can,
ahead.
thank,
Tom.
you can thank Trump for this. I mean, he does get people out to vote. I mean,
Well-
the number of people who have voted in the last few
number
elections have been higher.
Has been higher.
I think Barack
been
Obama.
higher.
I think Barack Obama started it, especially with the African American community.
He
Most
motivated people,
we had the
he
biggest
motivated
turnout
people
there.
for sure, but so did Trump for sure.
Well,
No,
yeah.
the turnout has actually been higher
Yeah.
in the
with Trump-
past
with- with
3 or
the
4
Trump
elections.
yeah, turnout has been higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's funny because
but-
the one thing that the Trump people don't talk about is in the 2020 election, more people voted
Yeah,
than they did in the 2024
Well,
election.
they
The
did.
Trump people
You
don't
know
talk
what?
about
Of
that.
course you know.
Biden actually got 82 million votes in 2020.
20.
I think Trump got 75 million votes
Right.
and won the popular vote in 2024. So fewer people voted
Right.
in 2024.
Yeah. But we've always like I think a lot of people didn't vote most recently because they just didn't think he was going to win again. So they say he's not going to win again, and then he
Well,
won.
they didn't like their choices.
They didn't like their choices.
I agree.
Yeah,
But
they
they
didn't
didn't-
like their choices.
But I mean,
And
here's
but again, he did win because people did support him on
Yeah.
the policy on the policy of
Not sure.
immigration.
Still not
and-
sure he won.
oh god.
Oh my God, he won. The sad
mean,
truth
the-
is, he won the pop. He won.
Yeah. I mean,
And
so
and he won, and one of the
But
issues he
that's-
won on was the immigration issue.
Yeah.
So the surprising thing is how he's taking that winning issue and he
And I-
is blowing it
Yeah.
himself, and he's got no one to blame
and I
but
feel like
himself.
I mean, I feel like this is the tragedy of it all because if the guy had an ounce of self-discipline
right.
where he
Right.
didn't have to overreach.
Yeah.
I mean, closing the border was a good idea. It has worked.
was.
The policy
It
has
was,
worked.
but yes,
You
right.
know,
And
reducing taxes and reducing regulations is helpful. It works. It helps the economy. Some of the things that he's done overseas have been helpful. The investment that he's bringing into America, that has been helpful. I mean, why they're not just focusing on these things rather than this incredible need to massively overreach?
massively
Well,
overreach.
I don't get it.
It's
Well,
massively
he's
overreach.
only helping the wealthiest in the country. He's
That-
not concerned about the
that-
middle or the lower class.
that-
So that's just
so-
the fact. So all these things that he's doing is not helping the common person.
So
So
generally,
you're-
people are saying everyone's going to pay less on their taxes. It's
okay,
not just
that
the
has
wealthy people.
that has nothing to
Not
do
just
with the
wea-
price
It's
of
not just the wealthy
of,
people.
of hamburger.
Well,
So
but
it
if-
just
but
because you
if-
get
Pay less
well,
on
if
it
their
has nothing to
taxes.
do with the fact you're losing your medical insurance.
No, but
They're
if you
gonna
have
kick
well,
people off the
well,
ACA.
hold on, hold
That-
on.
It's
That's a
over
different
January
issue.
1st.
That is
It's
a
all
different
co-
issue.
Those
it's
are
all-
Obamacare
no.
subsidies.
That's
That's a different
all-
issue.
It's all
That's a
tied in
different-
together.
that-
It's all
no,
tied
it's
in
not.
together.
That's a different issue.
it
The
is the
healthcare
same.
issue is a different issue.
My wallet is one issue.
Kevin,
My
Yeah,
taxes, my
okay.
health care, my rent, my
Obamacare
food.
is
subsidies
broken.
Were benefiting.
We
the
already know
insurance
that. But to do this to the American people is
well, he's
tragedy.
only doing it to a very small percentage of the American people, and he's not doing it. The Democrats did it because they purposely put a sunset on it because they didn't want to deal with it.
Because
Well,
it was
we at-
supposed to
we're
be
at it.
Temporary.
Well, we're at it.
Supposed to be a
Relief
benefit
plan.
Well, you know what?
to-
There was an opportunity for them all to sit down and fix this and do it the right way,
And-
but they don't want to.
Well, that's
The
another
Republicans
issue. I mean,
decided they didn't wanna
it's
be
not
bothered
just
with it.
it's not Republicans,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
Democrats.
No,
it's
there-
all of them.
there were
There's
plenty
no,
of
there's no
Republicans-
courage.
There
We have
were
no courageous
Republicans that
leaders.
talked
Well,
about a
I
one-year
appreciate
extension.
that. I
Democrats
appreciate that.
wanted a
That's
three-year
terrible.
extension. You know, yeah, no one
Listen,
was
if
addressing the
you're not
problem.
going to do anything to fix it, you shouldn't do anything to hurt anybody, and that's what they're doing.
Well, you
So
can't,
But
these
they
people-
you
are
can't
both
extend the
both
subsidy.
sides are to blame for that.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
listen.
the current system
Well, listen.
is not
Well,
it's
let's
not
be clear. Well, let's be
it's
clear.
not working.
According to the
Under
president.
the current system, the
Okay.
government is going to pay whatever the insurance
All right.
companies decide to charge because there's no limit and there's no income limit either.
Well, listen, the tariffs are bringing in $100 billion,
300,
right?
300
$1
billion.
$1 trillion, and he's gonna. Well, why can't we just pay it with that? We're gonna pay everything else with it according
Oh
to
no,
him.
he's gonna
We're
give. He's gonna pay. He's gonna pay off the farmers with that because he realizes.
Well, it's
the
so
tariffs are
much.
hurting
He
the
said it's
farmers.
so much. It's so much. We don't know. We don't know what to do with it. We've never heard of
And
anything like
first
this
of all,
before.
That's not a solution to
Well,
fixing
my point
healthcare.
is, they should not take these subsidies away from these people at this point. They should figure this out. And if we have
But
so much
both
money
parties-
coming
both
in,
parties
if we
are
have
to
so much
blame
money
for
coming
not
in,
figuring it
there
out.
should be a way to do this without harming these
Do,
people.
do you,
Both
do, do
parties
you,
are
do,
to
do you
blame.
do you think that families that are making over $400,000 a year should get a health care subsidy?
If they're in this bucket right now, I don't care. Because if the people who are making $60,000 are going to get kicked out, I care more about them than
But-
concerned
There were
about the
actually
man making
proposals
400,000.
there were actually
So,
proposals to cap it at the lower
and
income
they
level.
and that's what the
Well, the Democrats refused to do it.
The Democrats put that in. They actually put that in.
Both parties,
Democrats
are,
put
both
that in,
parties are to blame for
And
this mess.
we can blame everybody, but my point
Okay,
is
as long
fix
as we
it.
can blame everybody.
Don't put these folks who don't have the income in harm's way, and that's what they're going to do.
And both
And
parties,
you want to,
both
and we
parties
want to cry
are to-
about the 6 people who make $400,000.
It's not six
No,
people.
no.
You gonna get a subsidy?
No.
Okay, let them get a subsidy. They get everything else.
It's not six.
You know who's getting? You know who's benefiting? The insurance industry.
The insurance
My
industry.
least favorite
I mean,
people
well,
in the world.
and the reason that there's a very good reason that the Democrats don't want to do anything about this, because the health insurance companies write huge checks to Democrats,
Well, politics.
just like trial lawyers write huge checks to Democrats. I mean, that's why they don't want to do anything about it.
Well, that's America.
Okay, all right.
As long as we understand that both parties.
Welcome
are
to
blame
America.
Do we
here.
have any other Trump news that we wish to get
Epstein
into?
files.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about these.
The story
godforsaken
that
Epstein
story that will not die.
You know
Just
what?
let-
Epstein
And-
Just put the
files.
million files out there and
And
let it
Trump
be
is
done.
to blame.
Gracious of life.
Trump is to blame for the fact that these files won't die. He's done
That's true.
everything
Well,
he can.
Good
to put
God.
the
I
brakes on.
mean, so why didn't the Biden people release the files?
You know, that's irrelevant.
You-
why
It is
doesn't
irrelevant.
Trump-
It is
why
irrelevant.
doesn't Trump-
It's irrelevant.
It's actually
not-
not. It's
It's
not
irrelevant because
Yeah.
the Democrats will let it die. They could care less.
I will tell you exactly why
Donald
the Biden
Trump ran on
people-
this.
I will tell you exactly why the Biden people didn't release the Epstein files. They didn't release the Epstein files because there's nothing in there that's going to hurt Trump, and there are names in there
Then
of
why is
Democrat
Trump-
donors.
No, why is
That's
Trump
not why.
fighting
That's
so
not why.
hard? He is fighting.
He signed a bill to release the files.
only
And then he
because
went behind
had
him and told
no
him, "Don't do it."
option.
Did he
He
sign?
had no
Did he
option.
sign a bill to
He
release the
had
files?
no option because
Did he sign a bill to release the
all
files?
Republicans except for one supported the bill. He had no choice.
Oh no, there were a few that didn't support.
No,
No, it's
one.
just one.
One.
That's one.
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 Oh, you
One.
mean, you mean when the bill
One.
finally passed?
Yes.
Say it again
One.
after one.
Yeah.
One.
Whatever. Whatever. I mean,
Listen,
look,
the point I want
One.
to make about
He
Epstein
had
files
to
is,
sign the bill.
I don't care who's in there. If somebody did something to children, everybody should go to jail.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
but
So,
nobody is
just-
going to go to jail. That's the
Okay,
problem.
That's
well,
not-
there's no reason not. If
Put
you're
it
not going
out
to jail,
there.
okay.
Put
But
it out there.
I'll hand it to
should
Marjorie
be-
Taylor Greene. A little courage on
Exactly.
her part.
Exactly.
This was what she fought for.
Whoever
and
thought
this is what she
I
quit
would be
for.
lauding Marjorie
So,
Taylor Greene,
you
but
know,
I laud her.
I'm not going to do that, but
Okay, but listen, when you're releasing the file, I mean, apparently there's like millions of pages of these files.
Okay,
I mean,
release the
yes,
files.
God.
Release
I mean,
the files.
but they
I don't
have,
care which
but
party.
they do
Release
have
the
to go
files.
through. They have a legal obligation to go through the
Yeah,
files
but-
and redact
but
the names
that's-
of victims.
They're redacting
the
the names
victims
of
are on
when
the
5
news.
pages are come back completely black, all redacted.
Well, do you know why
they're
they're
obviously
okay?
doing
But
far
do,
more
okay,
than-
but do you know why they're doing that? Because there's probably the names of the victims and the names of the people
No,
that were
you
abusing
just
the
gotta
victims on the
enumerate the
same
names. You
page.
just
The
gotta
victims
no,
are on the
you
news
just
saying,
have
"Let
to-
the people share it with the people. Tell them
They're all
they're
on-
all on the
yes.
news."
Listen, I
Yes.
mean, I've
All
said,
of them.
You
listen,
just have to redact their names.
okay, fine.
Not the entire
Listen, I've
page.
said this before. My whole issue with the Epstein thing is, the only person that's in jail for this is Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yes.
And all of the people who were abusing these young women,
And this is
they're
why
all free.
This is why
They
the
are.
files should be,
Be
released.
released.
Because
Period.
they are all guilty as well.
Well, listen, I
They
mean,
couldn't wait to show Big
and-
Bill in the hot tub. I know that.
well,
Couldn't wait to put him in.
but I mean, even Clinton is now saying release all the
Exactly,
files.
and that's
He's
why
saying he didn't do
and
anything
the
wrong.
One person standing in the way is Trump.
He signed a bill.
No,
No,
he
he's
is still
he's
dragging
backdooring that
his
thing.
feet,
He's like he's still
dragging
pulling the
his
string.
feet.
Everybody
Yes, he's
in
pulling
his
the
circle,
strings.
everybody in
So
his
you know-
circle
do-
does
do-
what he
do-
tells
Pulling
them
the
to.
string.
So do you know what the Trump issue is with the whole Epstein thing? Here's the issue.
Uh-oh.
let's just
Oh.
let's just let,
Handle
let,
the bag. Come on.
let's just
Put it out
reveal
there.
the secret. The secret is in the 90s, Donald Trump was a philandering playboy. Jeffrey Epstein was a philandering playboy.
No.
They hung out together.
Hold on.
And to see who would get the most women.
Hold on.
There's a
Hold
word
on.
missing.
Pedophile is the word. These people played with children.
Okay, but you're
So let's stop.
there is
Now,
no
I'm not saying
there is
Trump- I'm
no
not saying Trump
evidence.
did that,
There's no
but we
evidence
know-
that Trump
we
had
know
anything to do
Epstein
with
did.
Why
underage
is he
girls.
dragging his feet? Just put it all out there.
He's not dragging his
Yeah,
feet.
oh
What-
my
He's signing the
God.
bill.
Oh my
Alright.
God.
What did your
Yeah,
mama
right.
tell you when you grew up? Birds of a feather. What do they do, ladies and gentlemen?
Say it with me.
Flock together.
Well-
Well, we can close that loop right there.
Well, why do you think Bill Clinton was hanging out with Epstein?
I-
Why do you think
Birds
Bill
of a
Gates?
feather.
Why do you think Bill
Birds of
Gates
a
was
feather.
hanging out with
I'm not
Epstein?
defending
Flock
Bill Clinton.
together.
Why do you think Alan Dershowitz was hanging out with
I'm not-
Epstein?
I'm not
Why do you
defending-
think the
Listen.
Harvard guy, Larry Summers,
Larry
why he
Summers.
was hanging out
I'm
with
not
Epstein?
defending-
Birds of a
Guys.
feather.
I'm saying put them
Flock
out there too. Put 'em all
together.
out
Put
there.
everybody on
Put 'em
display.
all out there.
I don't care who they are.
Larry
I don't care
Summers,
who
Larry
they are.
Summers has already resigned from Harvard because he knows what's
Well,
in the files.
Because he
As he
knows he
Oh, I
was
feel sorry for him. No.
he knows he
No.
was one of the birds.
Exactly. Put it all out there.
He's just saying,
Exactly.
please don't let the people know that I was one of the birds.
It's the story.
factually.
It's the
And you know
story
why
that
I
will
lucked
never
out?
die.
Because Trump has no one to blame but himself
Listen.
for that fact because he's been dragging his feet every
But
inch of the
again,
way.
you say it's irrelevant, but the Biden people could have released all this stuff too.
Fine,
Why
but
didn't they do it?
I don't, but
It didn't
I
fit their
don't
narrative.
care.
The Trump people said we're going to
don't care.
release the
Put it
files,
out
all
now.
of them, Bannon,
Put it out.
all those nuts that got on and went crazy. We're gonna get the files. We're gonna get the files. Vote
put it
Trump,
out there.
yada yada.
put it out there.
Here we are, ladies and
Put it all
gentlemen.
out there.
I haven't heard Steve Bannon say one thing about the files.
You're exactly right about that. And
Not one
apparently,
thing.
he apparently has some filmed interviews because he was working on some sort of Epstein book apparently. So it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of
before,
And he's already, and I'll close here. He's already predicted if the Democrats win, they're going to jail. Steve Bannon has already said that.
if the Democrats win, they're going to jail.
Him and all the people in this crazy Trump world are going to get arrested and go to jail. He's already said it.
Well, I mean,
He is
Because of
already
the
said it.
Epstein file?
No, because of all the things that are happening.
Yeah.
All the stuff that we are watching happen that doesn't make sense to normal
Well,
people in America.
what he
He knows that they're committing.
what he's saying is that if the
crimes.
Democrats take over the House, we're basically going to spend the final 2 years of the Trump presidency just locked in a bunch of investigations, and nothing will get done. To my point, we have no courageous leaders in Washington. I mean,
This is
none
true.
of these people,
No courageous
are
leaders,
willing
yeah.
to do the people's
Yeah.
business.
And we've lost independence of all of our institutions. So
Well,
here we are.
On that cheery note,
right.
we're going to need a refill. All right, welcome back. We are back at the bar with fresh glasses.
Yes.
We've moved on to a different potion. We've
I still have a remnant.
well, there's the remnants of Rachel's fufu drink there with an ungodly amount of fruit. in it.
Vitamin C.
There's
It's
a
got
lot of
vitamin
fruit.
C and
Yeah, so
antioxidants from
Rachel is
there,
not going to
so-
be starved of vitamin C. That much is certain.
Nor am I getting sick with all these antibiotics.
It is flu season, nasty strain of flu. But for those of us that have gotten the flu shot, we've escaped the noose so far.
Yes.
That would not be me. I've never gotten a flu shot in my life.
Yeah, but you're indestructible.
I'll drink
So
to
yeah, we should drink that. If we can all be indestructible, that's something to drink to.
She can do anything.
It must be those.
That's that alcoholic's personality.
That's right. Well, or as Susie Wiles would say, do you have the personality of an alcoholic? Do you believe you can do anything?
No, I don't.
Yes, that was
All
it.
right. right.
That was
So
interesting.
it is now December the 28th. The year is nearly over.
Just a few
So
more days.
as we look back on 2025, what are our observations?
Well, I guess the country didn't burn down.
Good point.
I mean,
We're still here.
we're still here, and I think as always we probably think the worst. You know, it was pretty rough, Doge, and cutting the federal government, pushing people out. But I know people are hurting, and it felt really bad. But we're still here, and I think, like always, Americans are resilient, and they find a way to push through. So I'll say it was kind of a 50-50 year. Looking back at all the stuff, I'm still frustrated with the way that our presidency is being run, not just because it's Donald Trump, but because um, historically I grew up, and the the bar to be the president was very high, and now it feels like we brought it way down. And I'm not just saying that about Donald Trump, but just some of the things that he has pushed and allowed, and the boundaries he's pushed, Supreme Court, all those things just feel like we are not the same anymore. So I'll give it a 50-50
Yeah, I mean, I do agree that a lot of the year has been dominated by President Trump, and I agree. I would say that Donald Trump has brought the bar really low. So you keep saying, no, it's not just about Donald Trump. I do kind of think it's this phenomenon of his personality that we have come to tolerate so many things that would have never been tolerated by any other human being, Democrat, Republican, of any party. Um, and it's still kind of astonishing time and time again of how he brings the bar down, like with Rob Reiner and his
Yeah.
wife being shot by their son, and that's obviously a tragic family
shot.
situation.
year.
Right,
Cut the throat.
Yeah,
Didn't shoot him.
he didn't shoot him.
right, exactly. Knife, right.
Knife.
Even more
Horrific.
Even
Even
worse.
more
horrific,
Even worse.
I mean,
yeah.
horrific,
very
and
personal, yeah.
horrific and brutal and personal and I mean there's just so much more emotion when you're like killing somebody with a knife than and a not a relative distance of shooting them with a gun. And so his his comments on that were pathetic and disturbing and yet it kind of like we've gotten so used to this bar being lowered that it hasn't made a lot of news. But I that that was just one more astonishing thing in the way that he has broken the rules of that of anybody else that has ever been president, and we've gotten so used to it that it's only like a news for a couple of days. So I think
So, I I think it's easy to look at the state of the country and look at the president and think, well, you know, it's him.
well
But
I
it's a lot more complicated than that because I was thinking about this oddly enough. I was thinking about this as I was coming out of church the other day. Well, yesterday, in fact, last night, in fact. I feel like I feel like Trump is more of a symptom of where we are as a country, which is I
mm,
don't feel like we're in a good place, and I feel like that there has been, um, and again, as we've talked about on our podcast many times, we live in this 24-hour news cycle. We live in this never-ending social media bubble where it's just negativity, negativity, negativity. Nobody actually ever digs in to figure out what the real story is. People are only looking at headlines. And, as a person that has been by and large in Washington D.C. for most of the last 35 years. I feel like it's never been worse than this. I mean, I feel like neither party has demonstrated any courage whatsoever to solve problems.
I totally agree that neither party has demonstrated any courage for a long time, and that predates Trump. But I do think that Trump uniquely has brought down the level of civility. I mean, what there is no one. I mean,
But
Richard Nixon, anybody else.
I don't
There
think
is
that's,
no one
I just
who
don't think
would've-
that's,
who would have reacted that
listen,
way
I
to
don't,
Rob Reiner's.
well, I agree. I mean, but that's, I mean, yeah, I mean, the stuff that he says is reprehensible. But the idea that it's only Trump that's saying reprehensible things is not
So,
true.
but
Well,
my
It's just not
but
true.
it's only Trump that has brought it to the presidency.
Well, but we can only have one president at a time. But if you listen to
Well,
all the,
well,
if,
here's-
I mean, if you turn on, if you turn on MSNBC and you listen to any number of Democratic politicians who go on that ridiculous fake network, you know, and you listen to the things that they say, they're equally outrageous. I mean,
So-
it's you
Well,
know,
well,
it's
my
both.
my
And
point is not about that. My point is more about the American people accepting this behavior across the board, and that's what I'm talking about. The bar is low.
we don't have any
Because
choices.
you do have choices.
What are the
The
choices?
choices. Well, there are plenty more choices that were
But
on stage.
It
on
is
both
Trump
hold
that
on.
brought the bar down in this
That-
regard.
But he should have never gotten out of the
Reality TV business.
Yes, amen. Amen to
yes, he should have stayed there. But he should have never been elected. He should have never been the nominee for the Republicans. He should have never been that. With the behavior that he said, even in the first time when he ran, no one would have
Prior
made
to
him
that-
They were not. No one.
No one prior to
He
him could
was
have been elected with that
Convicted of
behavior.
crimes, felonies, and he is still today the president. No one.
Well, he was
one.
only actually convicted of one felony, which any reasonable person would say was ridiculous.
You
case.
can call what you want.
Right, but so many.
They didn't even want
so-
Bill Clinton as president because he smoked weed. And do you remember that?
It is
So-
it is
so-
remarkable when you think about how we've moved from 1992 to 2024 and what we considered totally unacceptable in 1992.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And
not
that's
even
my point.
it's
But-
not
The
even
bar is
And
it's way low.
and it's-
way low.
And it's Trump.
And-
It's Trump that changed the bar because of his cult of personality
But-
and him bringing in this
But it's-
whole
it's-
base
it's
that
bigger
had
than
never
that.
been activated.
It's
before.
bigger than that. The American people asked for it. And it's
Well,
terrible that we have decided 70 million people, according to them, have voted for this man.
74 million. Actually.
According to actual,
Actually
went-
according to actual statistics,
Actually provided
they
a,
voted for him.
I
Not
mean,
according to.
I mean,
He
I
didn't
want to
invent that.
say he said that they, did something in Pennsylvania. But we're not going to bring that up. That they kind of cheated in Pennsylvania. But we're not going to bring that up.
No, they didn't cheat.
But the point is,
No,
74 million people
he
placed a ballot for
won.
a guy
Yes,
who
he did.
was a convicted felon, who was
Kevin, the case
who
was
was-
bullshit.
it's okay.
Everybody
It-
knows the
it
case was
doesn't
complete
matter. It
Doesn't
bullshit.
matter.
trial went
Everybody
through.
heard him say that he
He's
was
convicted,
gonna
he's convicted.
grab
His
private
peers
parts and
did
they
that,
go-
but he
wasn't on trial for that.
I
It
know,
doesn't
but I'm
matter.
saying
It
the
doesn't
bar
matter.
was
He was
lowered.
convicted. He was convicted. He was convicted
Look,
by
No
a
one
jury
else,
of his peers.
no
Listen,
previous president,
More
president
importantly,
could have said,
I'll say this is more important. A man who was on tape saying "grab women by the
right,
pussy"
that's what I'm saying.
was elected to president.
Right.
This is a
That's-
this is a family channel.
I'm just repeating
This
the
is a
president.
family channel.
I'm just repeating the president.
Listen,
Just repeat
But,
Listen.
but my point is, people
Right,
said
no one else
this
could have
is
ever been elected.
okay
listen.
Yeah.
for this man to be
Yeah.
in the
So-
White
So
House.
that,
Let-
this
let
is
me-
why,
That's my point.
this
let-
is why
let
this-
me-
Forget the conviction.
This president
all
lowered
of
the
that.
bar.
Alright.
Just
No one
understand.
Let
else
me-
could have
people
said that
said.
and
Let
gotten
me-
elected.
I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
But let me explain to you why he won twice. Okay. And think about it in the context of voting for or against somebody. And my Trump friends are gonna just I'll be persecuted for this endlessly. But The truth of the matter is, in 2016, he ran against somebody who was significantly more unlikable than him.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I
She
don't.
wa-
Okay?
You can say
That-
that, but
that-
I don't.
People didn't
I don't-
like her.
That is a
that's
fact.
fine. I don't-
Nobody,
It's a fact. People didn't
nobody
like her.
liked her.
Nobody liked her.
Nobody liked her. And in 2024,
But-
That's a
But-
horrible reason not to elect
hold
somebody,
on,
'cause
hold
I don't
on.
like
Okay,
it.
fine.
I'm
That
just
is
saying,
what
I'm
it
just-
is. That
that's
is what it is.
Okay, but it is
makes
what
my
it is.
point again.
and in
It
20
is what it is.
and in 2024, he ran against somebody that a lot of people
Was
thought was
senile.
a nincompoop.
It was senile.
No,
No,
Biden
talking
dropped
about
out of the
Kamala.
race.
I'm about Kamala
But
Oh, yeah.
Harris could not string 3 sentences together.
She could,
Well,
but go on.
Okay, so my point is that Trump hugely benefited from who his opponent was both times, because people, it's not that 74 million people voted for him. A lot of those 74 million people were voting against the
A
person
lot-
he was running against.
But
That-
that's
a lot of them
but-
were voting against the person he was running against, but he did activate his base.
He activated
and
people who had never
who
voted
had
before.
never voted before, and who had like just opted out of politics because politicians were generally talking above their heads. So he opted into this, kind of base that, and he talked down to their level in a way that politicians.
Okay, but here,
he
didn't
did.
normally
okay, but
He
talk,
did do trailer trash talk.
All right.
He did
Yeah,
that.
yes, right.
He did
So
do that.
he activated this base that generally
Okay.
opted out of politics.
all right, so
Because both the Republicans and Democrats were
Okay.
talking above where they were
okay,
at.
so fine. So all of these people who came off the sidelines to
Yes.
vote, who really had not participated
And they
before,
still love him.
and those, well,
Yes.
but a lot of those people, as we alluded to at the very top of the podcast, a lot of those people really don't think he's working for them. So where do these people go in the next elect? Where do they go in the midterms?
Well,
Where do
Trump-
they
They've
go? in the
already
next
showed you where they're
presidential
going.
election?
2025.
He still has his base.
That's like
But a
that's
lot
that's
of-
like
That's
20.
very
It's
small.
it's
That's
20%
very
of the
Okay,
small.
but
country.
Trump brought in addition to his
Yeah.
base, he did bring in
Well,
a
we-
lot
okay,
of
but
them
listen,
over on.
But where do they
we-
go?
And we don't know
If-
nothing.
if
That
they-
is the question of
Okay,
where they go.
where do they
Because
go?
Trump still does have that base, but
It's
he
20%.
But let me tell you, let me
He
tell you,
brought
let me
in, he brought
listen.
in a lot of people that Republicans had never brought in
Americans-
before. And that's
Americans,
the question of where they go.
Americans are switch hitters, and they will vote the other
Well,
way.
independents are switch
they,
hitters.
they will switch out.
Republicans and Democrats are not switch
But-
hitters.
There are a lot. There are a lot who
Yeah.
switch. There are a lot who switch from
Okay.
Democrat to Republican.
You know,
I
we've
think.
talked about this a lot. The
in the
majority,
last cycle.
independents have more, as a category, they have a larger percentage than either Democrats or Republicans.
So I think
It's kind of like
Americans.
30, but the independents are a little over the 30. They're like a 31 or so.
I mean, I'm just. It's just interesting to me to know more people not talking about how much he's benefiting from the office. It's not making the news that much.
But
He's
in the last
used the
election,
office to really enrich his family and himself incredibly, which was something that was frowned upon by almost everyone, I thought, in this country. But
Yeah.
apparently,
Well, it's
the thing to do now.
It's unseen.
So
Yeah.
get ready.
but in the last election,
Get ready for the next guy who's smarter and more likable than Trump. So It'll
see,
really rob you.
Well, that I mean,
Well,
and,
we
you
don't,
know,
we
and
don't know.
that's-
We don't know where that's
I
going.
mean, that's what I mean. I mean, and that's, it's, so over the Christmas break, somebody had sent me this. I think it was either 1982 or 1983, but it was a Ronald Reagan message at Christmas time, which was short. It was not 97 minutes. It was short. It was articulate. It said the things that needed to be said during the holiday season, which was generally uplifting about the country and our role in the world and how we always look to the North Star. Very appropriately noted in there that we have made mistakes, over the course of our history. But we're an optimistic people. We look forward and we try to do the best. I mean, it was just a great message. And I just kept thinking, I kept watching it and thinking, good God, where have we gone?
Well, we've gone to. You've never seen anything like this before.
I
That's
know,
where we
but
are.
I still think that we're not going to see anything like this again. I think Trump was a phenomenon
Well,
and a cult of personality, and I don't think there's anyone out there like him.
Well, I
So
think,
I don't know.
that,
The only
I don't
thing,
know who's going to win, but I don't think it's going to be the same kind of cult of personality that Trump.
But
has.
look
Well-
at but look at what some of these Democrats are doing. I mean, they're trying to emulate him
No,
on
but
social
no,
media.
but none of them can
Not
pull it
really.
off.
Not
None,
really.
None
Not
of them
really.
can pull it off.
Not
They,
really.
They are,
they
though.
tried to. and
Gavin
they-
Newsom is trolling him all the time.
I
Well, I
know,
mean,
he
that's
tries,
just
but
funny.
He can't
That's
pull
just
it off.
funny.
Just like in
That's
the
just
Republican
funny.
debates, when Rubio and everybody tried to out Trump, no one else could pull it off. So I think he's a phenomenon, and I don't think we're going to see something like him again.
I think it's less about
That's
Trump.
my prediction.
My only thing to piggyback off what John said, because I kind of agree, is that you know, I think the bar was lowered by Trump, but in general, I think just Americans just treat each other horribly.
I agree.
Since
It's
social
terrible.
media, I mean, it definitely predates Donald Trump, but it's just gotten much worse. Like we just treat each other very
Badly.
badly.
Just
And you know
badly.
what's-
People, just
And you know what's even
there's no
worse?
human. Yeah,
You know what's even worse? Social media is not even real anymore.
it's not. It's not.
And people are taking
what I
it.
say.
and-
What do you
This is
what do you
I've
mean?
been
What do you
saying
mean by
about
that?
TikTok all along.
AI has taken over.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Social
I see.
media.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's all lies.
It's all fake.
Yeah.
And people are using it to make decisions in their life. And it's horrible.
I think it's a very small.
And it's
I
making
think it's-
people mean and nasty and negative. And
But I think it's a very small percentage of people who actually take it and try to put it in. Well, I won't say a small percentage. What I'll say is that I feel very optimistic about the future that people are starting to turn away from social media.
well, I hope
There's
so.
a huge trend of people, young people, who are giving up their smartphones and going back to like BlackBerrys and
amen
going
to
back
Yeah.
flip phones, you know. And
I
I
mean,
love that trend. It's
But
awesome.
look, I mean, there's, you know, I am a person of faith, which is widely known. Gallup had a survey that talked about the decline in church-going Americans, where I think we may even be, if we're not below 50%, we're right about 50%. There's been a significant decline over the last 25 years of people who are going to church, and this is just one person's view. But I think that has led to a lot of the callousness that we see in everyday life, is that people have become unmoored from their faiths, and I think it's led to increasing disrespect, lack of civility. It's not helpful. It's not healthy.
Well-
I would still attribute it more to social media than
Well, yes, it's a
lack of
huge,
religion,
it's a
because
huge
there's plenty of
deal.
people
Well, I
who
just
aren't religious that are
we just
that are
watched a
decent.
special the other day where we are seeing actually a return to faith. And
Talking
I
about-
think it's in
talking
the, I think it's in the past 6 months.
Call
last year.
Gallup and tell him.
No, I'm just saying. My wife and I were watching on the news. There was like a big nationwide baptism. And by the way, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Christian too, a man of faith. I know they think all of us are so woke that we don't believe in Jesus, but we do. And all of us are not
Wow.
running around. I'll leave that out.
Well,
Anyway.
You
we-
mean you mean all Democrats are not agnostics and atheists?
No,
right.
I
And
would just
I don't
to-
like to use the term woke, but in their definition of wokeness, which is wrong,
it's definitely wrong.
we're not
Here we
running
go
around
again.
woke.
All right.
We are people like everybody else,
Mhm.
who are people of faith who believe in doing things the right way and loving and being
Okay,
compassionate.
but
to
you
each
know,
other. That's
not everybody who is religious is tolerant, and I would just remind
Oh, that's
you
definitely
again
that's definitely
that if
true.
you look at all of the wars in the world
They've been all fought over
throughout
religion.
history and currently today, most of the brutality and killing has been done in the name of someone's god.
Well,
So
not Russia, Ukraine.
No.
That doesn't have a
No.
damn thing to do with religion.
right.
certainly,
Nothing.
certainly,
And blowing up Venezuelan boats has nothing to do with religion either.
Well, that's true.
Okay, but if you look at most
But
of
the
the
Middle
wars in the
East,
world
totally.
and the-
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the Middle East, but yeah, I mean, throughout history and throughout the world, most of the wars and brutality has been done in the name
And
of
let's
religion.
remember,
So,
religion is man-made.
Well, but you even
Has nothing to
have,
do
I
with
mean,
your
you
faith.
even have what's happening in Nigeria now, where,
Oh,
you have,
all about
you know,
religion.
ISIS
I
has
don't believe
gone
All
in
that.
about
there
religion.
I don't believe
and
that.
they're killing Christians, they're
Yeah.
killing Muslims,
Well, that's
who
not why
don't
we're
toe
over
the
there.
line.
That's not why we're over there, though.
That is why they're
Well, that,
fighting
well,
amongst themselves and
Well, that's one thing.
the brutality and the horror and, brutal rapes and horror. It's all done in the name of religion.
Well, there's a brutal tally going around the world, so let's just
And
Well,
most
let's
of it is in the
understand
name
that.
of religion.
well,
So.
and
And religion
what,
is again man-made.
well,
So
what's happening in Nigeria is, I think it's a good lesson for us. It's a good reminder that Islamic fundamentalism is still out there. It is alive and well, and
Yeah.
it hasn't changed, and it needs to
And
be dealt with.
it can be very brutal in the
well,
name
Christianity
of religion.
is not sanctified either. So let's remember that. We use Christianity to
Crus-
kill
the,
a lot
crus-
of
the
people.
Crusades were,
Well,
Crusades were,
well,
Yeah.
I feel like we've learned something since when were the Crusades? Was that the 8th century, the 7th century?
Yeah, well,
I feel like we've learned a little since then.
maybe
I'm not sure that
not
Islamic
everywhere.
fundamentalism has learned anything from the third
No.
or fourth century.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, so we've looked back at 2025, and it's a little
I don't
gloomy.
know. It was a little too gloomy.
Yeah, but as we look to 2026, I imagine that we are all hopeful. As a Republican, I personally always see the glasses half full. But when we think about looking into our crystal balls, what do we see for 2026?
I don't know. But
I,
I'm hopeful.
I don't.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I think we are turning the corner a bit. People are hopefully starting to see things a little more clearly, and
I don't
if we
think-
can get the politics out of everything, I think we'll get better.
Well, I don't know when we're going to
and-
get the politics out of
Well,
everything,
my
but-
point is, Americans can make this better, and I think we will.
Well,
When we start, look, go outside and meet your neighbors, talk to your neighbors, whether they look like you or not, regardless of their politics, regardless of their religion. Get to know your neighbors, be a community, do your best for your community, do your best for your family, and we will turn this around because we've been pulled into this. Everything's politics, and everything should not be politics.
Agreed. Agreed.
So I'm hopeful that
Agree
we will
completely.
start doing that.
Yeah.
well, I still think it's going to be all about politics, but I think that the pendulum always swings, and I think now it's swinging towards, and that's probably a good thing because either extreme isn't good for different reasons. So I think now the pendulum is swinging towards the Democrats in 2026.
Well, look, I mean, there's a good number of the policies of the last 11 months that I actually agree with. There's a good number that I don't agree with. I think one thing that remains to be seen is whether people will feel better about their own personal economic situation. And I think if you look at the data, there's going to be an awful lot of people who are going to be getting an awful lot of money back when they file their taxes next year. And is that enough? Is that enough to change people's minds to think, okay, well, maybe this economy is working? The problem is that you don't have to file your taxes until April 15th. Most people wait till the last minute. A lot of people even try to get extensions for that. So let's say that there is this big windfall and people do feel better about their economic situations. None of that is going to resonate until probably next summer. And at that point, everybody's mind, it's all sort of baked in at that point. So if you were pissed off for all of 2025 because you felt like you couldn't afford anything, by the summer of 2026, is that going to be enough to affect your vote in the midterms? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I can tell you this: poor people got their taxes ready right now.
Wait, what?
They're not waiting.
Well,
January
Well, I'm not.
January 1st.
I'm not
They're at
poor,
H&R
but
Block,
I'm not.
baby.
I'm not poor, but I too have my taxes ready. I'm just waiting on W-2s
I'll tell you right now.
or 1099s,
Low
right?
income families,
Wait.
December 31st.
They have their taxes ready.
Absolutely. They doing short form. They're in there. Hey, what we got? What we getting back?
Well, then,
So,
maybe,
I
then
don't
maybe
know,
a lot
I
of
don't
those
know.
people are going to be feeling better about things because they're going to have more money.
Well, we certainly hope so.
Yeah, but still,
But
I don't
I
know.
hope
People,
we
I don't know,
increase
most
our-
people are procrastinators. Most people are not ready. January 1st, I'm ready to file my taxes. I don't.
Yes,
Oh,
the
yes,
low
they
income
are.
families
Oh,
are
yes.
waiting to turn in
They
their
want that
taxes
refund.
right now.
They're waiting for
if
that
you
refund.
if
Listen.
you are having a hard time paying your
Oh, yeah.
rent, you want that $3,000
Yeah,
right
listen.
now.
Well, and yes, and the government's going to be
Yeah.
writing a lot of checks, and I think that's a good thing. I think if Trump can figure out how to get out of his own way and start actually talking about what he's doing for people rather than the things that he's doing for himself, he's got to start doing that. And is it enough to save the Republican majority in the House next
Nope.
year?
No.
No. No.
It's highly questionable.
It's going down.
Well,
They're going down.
as a faithful Democrat, I hope he stays on TV.
Yeah.
He's the best player for the Democrats right now.
Well, he does.
Put him out there,
he
baby.
does get people out to vote on both sides.
Get him out
I mean,
there.
he does
Get
get
him
people out to vote
Yeah,
on both sides,
That's
and
true.
if he could just, if he could just have a modicum of self-discipline, because it's not a
Yeah.
bad story to tell if you can just,
Get out of your own way. I know that I could say that about so many people. If they could just get out of their own way,
Well,
they'd be pretty good.
it's challenging to do that sometimes, but
yes.
but again, I
Here's to
I,
getting out of our
I see
own
the glass is
way.
half full.
Get
Right?
out of our own
We're gonna
way.
get out of our own way. It's gonna be a
Hey.
great year. So happy New
Happy
Year to
New Year.
everybody.
Happy New
And
Year.
yeah, we all love America.
We love America.
We all
America
love
250 next year. 250 years.
I know, right? That's
Woohoo!
good, man. A celebrating year.
All right.